Joseph used to tease us all the time. And then, you know, he would just give to me. And I bought into that. He was like, oh, you put on a few pounds. The only thing that I could control in my life was Motown. Because they tell you, I mean, when we used to go on Carson or Mike Douglas or whatever back then, when we used to do interviews of the Jackson 5, you know, see, when you're in this kind of business, they kind of like, it's like, okay, do you have a girlfriend? No. Do you this? You know, you got, it's like, they dictate to you everything. What you wear, what you sing. Because back then, we weren't allowed to sing our own stuff, to produce our own stuff. They dictate to you what you can wear. If you're on an interview, if you're going on Carson, this is what you say, this is what you don't say. The only control I had over my life was eating. I had no control. We had no control. I wasn't like my brothers. People, they're angry and they take it out on others. I was angry and hurt, and I took it out on myself. And being brought up with Joseph and stuff like that. When we were rehearsing 2300, where we used to live, it's like, if I danced wrong, if I sang the wrong note, I'd get the hell beat out of me. I'd get thrown in the basement. So instead of taking that out on other people, I withdrew and I took it out on myself. There was nothing I could control in my life for my eating. And Joseph told me, oh, you're so black, or you have such a big nose.
He told you you were black?
Yes. When I was little, you are so black. You don't look like my child. Your nose is so big and this and that. They used to call me Big Nose and stuff. And instead of retaliating on them, I just did it with myself.
Are you happy with your face?
Yeah. I'm happy with my face and stuff. Yeah. Because I don't want to look like that.
Well, you don't.
I mean, people tell me, oh, yeah, you're really Janet. Or, oh, before Toya posed nude. Toya knew the same person and stuff.
Who said that?
Oh, God, it was in the media.
When did that?
Toya even wrote that in Playboy. She said, well, at least I can put the rumor to rest that Michael and I are the same person. Showing her breasts and stuff like that. Then they say, Janet and Michael are the same person.
That's crazy. You know that photograph with Janet that she brought over here? How old was she? Is that Janet and Randall and who's that other lady? You probably don't know which picture I'm talking about, huh?
Janet was real little. She was about, that was when Janet was playing a Good Times with Kenny.
Oh.
Janet must have been, I don't know the mother of the bride. I don't know.
And is that Randy next to Janet?
Yeah, with the gold jacket?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Randy.
Okay, and then there's another lady.
It was like, you know, girl, it's like my brother and sister.
All of them? After 30 minutes ago, this message that you want.
Randy grew up in it because Randy's been really through a lot, okay? And Randy grew up with Joseph telling him, because Randy was the youngest boy. And, I've been performing since I was 5. And Randy had to stay home with the girls. With the grieving toys, Jackie for the baby, mother. Joseph always told Randy, you're not good enough. You don't have talent for this.
You told him that?
Yes.
But he was so little.
Yeah. And then we, try to bring Randy into the group, and he felt like he was like, when Jermaine left, when Jermaine decided to stay with Motown and we went on to Epic and stuff, and Randy was always told he was a villain. I remember we did this show. It was called the Jackson 5 special, and I will never forget this. Randy was like 9 years old. He was on the Congo. This was his first appearance on television. So we had a live audience and stuff. It was on NBC. We had a live audience or stuff like that, and we were doing, I don't remember what show it was, but Randall he was on the Congos and stuff. So Joseph was like a tyrant.
And how old were you?
Well, let's see, Randy's 30 now, and I'm like 33. I was like 12. And then Joseph got on.
Really?
Yeah, and it's like when I got close to Mr. D and stuff. Mr. D would kiss me and hug me and stuff like that. You're like, looks like this cute man. He didn't say anything to Mr. D really, because Mr. D would have told him off.
So you had a pretty form of...
Yeah, Joseph never used to hug us. Mother did.
What about that other child?
Giovanni.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he doesn't have any problems. He never had any problems showing. He hugged her and stuff. I never could understand that.
It is bizarre. That's really bizarre.
Why is that, girl?
I don't know.
Jackie got it the worst, because Jackie was the oldest boy, and Reedy, I guess, got it. And
you got it, you mean like the beatings, or?
Yeah.
What?
But Jackie used to get it the worst.
That's terrible. But weren't you kind of the spunky one? I mean, didn't I read where you threw she would have said or something?
Yeah, I was the one that was by back when I was little. He'd try to beat me and stuff like that. Because I sang the wrong, I didn't do something right, or I did the wrong dance tune or whatever, the wrong move. And I would argue back and I would fight back.
And all the big brothers just sit there and watch?
Yeah. They were scared of him, and I threw a shoe at him and stuff. And I'd run myself.
He must have been a sight.
He couldn't catch me, And then when I went to sleep and stuff, because we didn't have to do that.
Wait, I just dropped the phone. Hold on. I was trying to take these jeans off, and I dropped the phone. I'm sorry. No, wait a minute. I want to pick them up off the floor. Hold on. Okay, go ahead.
But my brothers used to say I was crazy. And I was little. And I would always fight Joseph back. And I would ask him my ass beat. And then I used to run, and I threw a shoe at him and run myself. And he knocked me down on the floor one time because we were rehearsing in our living room. I did something wrong. He knocked a mess out of me. And we were supposed to perform somewhere the next day. And he knocked me down so hard I lost my wind, right? And I was just little. So I got up. I was so furious. You talk about me being conceited now. I got up. And I was crying. And I said, Joseph, if you hit me again, I'm not performing. He's like, what the fuck did you say? I'm like, you hit me again, Joseph. And I wasn't even 9 years old. I was probably just about 7. I said, Joseph, if you hit me again, and I was crying my eyes out. I said, if you hit me again, I am not performing. You leave me alone. Huh? I said, I'm not doing the show. He said, don't you know I will kick your MS ass and all this and that. I got up, the wind was knocked out of me. I said, you hit me again and I won't perform. And he knew I was the star performer.
Yeah, really.
He didn't hit me.
Well, you had some leverage there.
My brothers used to say, Mike, you crazy, man, you crazy.